Hello and welcome back to the Frugal Granny channel. My name's Ali. I'm Frugal Granny. I'm a 65-year-old semi-retiree trying to make the best of what I've got between having left my office job last June and getting the state pension hopefully at the end of July 2027. Today's Monday, and on Monday we usually have Magazine Monday, where I put together a series of clips of things that I've been doing through the week. Last week, I literally have been eating out of my fridge, freezer and pantry, apart from the lovely fish dinner that one of my visiting sons cooked me, I think, on Thursday evening. So I've not really got any cooking clips for you today. And I'm intending to keep eating out of my pantry, fridge and freezer for another week. I managed to save quite a lot of money last week. I had a £50 gift card, which I bought at the beginning of the month, which was £45 for my week one consumables allowance, £5 worth of stocking up. I think I told you that I spent £5 on a strip of sardines in tomato sauce, and I spent a little bit on milk and eggs and things like that, and I had £33 and a few pennies left. So yesterday, having not spent any money all week, I decided I was going to go and shop the deals. Now, it's a long time since I've shown you a shopping haul because, as you know, I don't shop terribly often because I do tend to shop the deals. And I did stock up an awful lot before Christmas during staff discount week. I work in a supermarket, and for a week, sometime before Christmas, we get 20% staff discount. And I took advantage of that and I stocked up on all of the consumable items that would last me for a whole year. So things like toiletries and cleaning materials, and shelf-stable groceries like olive oil and coffee and other things like that. So I was pretty well stocked up anyway. But I was talking to a colleague who came through self-checkout while I was looking after self-checkout, and she told me that she had got these challenges, these loyalty card challenges. And I said, well, why have I not got these? And she said, well, only if, selected people get chosen for them each time. But she said, have you got your settings on your app, your marketing settings set up correctly? Otherwise you won't get chosen because they'll think you don't want bothering. So later on I went into my app and I've reset my marketing settings so that I think I'm getting all emails and updates or something, but nothing through the post. But enough for me now to be able to get coupons. I didn't realise before that you need to have your marketing settings on to get coupons. Not loyalty card vouchers, coupons, which are like 15% off frozen vegetables for a limited time period, that sort of thing. So I've started to get those as well now, which is lovely. And then the other week I noticed that I had being chosen for loyalty card challenges. Now, I'm very, very aware that there's been some discussion about loyalty card challenges on various money-saving forums. And yes, we do need to be very aware. We do not use deals and coupons and discounts to buy things unless we need the thing, we're going to use it, and we can afford it. So just remember that. I've not gone out and bought things without due and considerable thought. So I'm going to try and show you some of the challenges that are on my phone so that you can see what I was offered and how I whittled it down from, I think you're offered about 20 challenges and you can choose 10. So I chose 10. And then within that 10, I think there were 2 or 3 that I knew I was not going to take up because they were things that I don't buy. So I was going to be tempted to buy something I didn't want, or they were things that, you know, I think they wanted, one of the challenges was spent £23 in the course of 3 weeks on fresh vegetables. Now, if you were a normal person with a family, or if I was just a normal person full stop, I probably would spend about £7 or so a week on fresh vegetables, but I don't, and there was no way I was going to just randomly spend £23 on fresh vegetables that I'm not going to eat just to get the extra loyalty points from this challenge. So I knew that one wasn't going to happen, but there were a few that I thought, yeah, I could do those. And then I went and checked my pantry and realised that I really was not in a position to need to spend £20 stocking up on tinned pulses and lentils. So I thought, yeah, it's a great deal, but it's not a great deal for me because I don't need them. I can't use them because there will be too many. And really, that challenge would have taken me over the amount of money that I was willing to pay for this little shopping trip. It was the same with the dried fruit challenge. I think it was offering you to spend £18 to get a generous amount of loyalty card points back. And I thought to myself, yeah, I do use dried fruit, but £18. And then I realised that, you know, a 45p bag of economy mixed fruit doesn't exist anymore. It's been withdrawn. A 45p bag of economy sultanas now costs £1.19. But I checked my cupboard and I realised I've still got 3 bags of dried fruit. Okay, that'll only make me 3 fruit cakes. So I suppose, you know, I could buy a few more, and maybe a box of the cheaper dates would be nice as well. And I checked the price of those. They've gone up from about £2.50 to £3 something. So it wouldn't be too hard to spend £18 on dried fruit, but I just thought that at the moment I'm not sure I really need it. I've still got another week before the challenge expires, so you may find me going back for the dried fruit, but I'm not going back for the tinned pulses and lentils. I've got well enough of those in my, as you might want to call it, prepper pantry to last me all year and a lot longer, because I do check best before dates when I buy things. So I'm just going to stop for a minute and draw breath and drink my coffee and eat my Weetabix. And then I'm going to sit at the table and talk you through my challenges and the ones that I took up and the ones that I didn't, and show you what I bought. And hopefully I can show you the receipts as well, so that that makes some sense. And I can try and show you how I've sort of, I did manage to get a top cashback gift card to pay for this as well, so that will have given me some money back. So anyway, I'm just going to take a deep breath now. I've got my son, where's the clock gone? Oh, I took the clock down. I've got my son giving me a video call at lunchtime, so I need to try and get this done before then. He lives in a far-flung country and I don't get to speak to him very often. I've got 3 sons. One lives in a far-flung country, and then there's the one that moved out, and then there's the one that visits every now and then. Yeah, okay, right, coffee and Weetabix, and then I'll show you the shopping haul and I'll talk you through the challenges. Right, there we are. I've got all of my challenges set up on the table for you, apart from the frozen vegetables, which I put straight into the freezer last night. But I did take a picture of those before I put them away, and I'll just insert that here. Right, I'm just going to go sit at the table now, and I'm going to open my phone and show you what the challenges look like after they've been completed. So I just checked my phone and I've now completed 5 of the 10 challenges that I chose, and the phone is updated. So I'm really, really glad I took some screenshots last night, because otherwise I really would not have been able to demonstrate to you what I've done. So I've got some before shots and some after shots. Let's just go over to the table now, and I'm just going to talk you through the challenges. Right, so here's the shopping that I did yesterday. I took up three challenges, I think, here, and there's a fourth one, which is the frozen food, and also a pasta challenge that's in the fridge. So let's just go through them quickly. So this is the first challenge that I took up, which was to spend £10 on tinned soup or soup, generally any sort of soup. So I tend to buy the supermarket soup, which used to be 45 pence a can. It's now 63 pence a can. And I worked out that to meet the full challenge, I needed to buy 20 cans of soup, and that includes my 15% staff discount. So it's not straightforward to work it out. I can't just take the price of the soup and divide that into the amount of money I need to meet the challenge, but I also have to take into account my staff discount. So someone who was not a member of staff would probably not have to buy 20 cans of soup. They would buy a few less. I bought 6 cream of chicken, 6 chicken and mushroom, 6 cream of mushroom, and then I made up the final 2 with oxtail soup. They don't seem to have a straightforward tomato soup in this range, which is a great shame because I would have bought some of those if they'd had some. So anyway, I've met the tinned soup challenge. Well, it wasn't just tinned soup. You could have bought cartons or tubs of fresh soup, but I wanted tinned soup. I do have some tinned soup in my what you might call prepper pantry at the moment. It's dated to the end of May this year, so I'm at the moment trying to eat that up, and if I have a tin of soup a week until the end of May, I will have more than achieved that, and so none of my current tinned soup will be wasted. And the date on these tinned soups is December 2029, so I've got just under 2 years to eat 20 cans of tinned soup, which I think is perfectly achievable. So I needed them, I can use them, and I can afford them. Ka-ching. The second challenge that I did was to spend a certain amount of money on tinned vegetables. Now, that included all sorts of different things, including sweet corn and peas. I have plenty of tinned potatoes, plenty of tinned sweet corn, tinned mushrooms, tinned peas and tinned sliced carrots in my prepper pantry, so I do not need any more of those. The dates on those are well into 28 and 29. They will get used, but I do not need any more. One thing that I think you can never have too much of, well, that's not true, because I have found myself in a situation before where I've had too much of chopped tinned tomatoes, but the chopped tinned tomatoes were included in the challenge, so I decided to get some of those. And the other thing I got is something that I've not seen before. So I got 12 cans of these baby carrots in water. I've not opened one yet to have a look at them. I might try one of them this week just to see, but I've not seen these before. And so I decided to get some of those to ring the changes. They'll go very well with a salmon fillet, or even a steak or some other piece of meat. Whereas the chopped sliced carrots that I've got will be put into casseroles and chopped even more finely to go into spaghetti sauces. And then I got 3-4 packs of the Italian chopped tomatoes. Yes, I know that the Growers Harvest ones come in cheaper per unit now. They didn't for a while. For a while, these were cheaper per unit than 4 Growers Harvest chopped tomatoes. I think they've caught on to that, so the price of these has gone up, but these are a better product. You actually get more tomato per volume, I think, so I was willing to get those. So that group of things there, that's the tinned vegetable challenge. On the end are some more tinned sardines in tomato sauce. These are 45p each, and what I don't understand is, although I've got location turned on for the supermarket where I shop, these are not listed on the website, so it's a little bit misleading. The only ones you can get on the website are a lot more expensive than this. These are 45p each. As I've said before, I did buy a couple of strips of those tinned sardines in tomato sauce at the end of last month. I bought another strip at the very beginning of this month, which cost me about £5. All of that contributed towards this challenge, and it said that I'd spent £17.10 and I had to spend £18. But anyway, I had 90 pence left that I had to spend to meet the full challenge, which, when you take staff discount into account, meant I had to get 3 tins of sardines. Two tins would have met the 90p, but because I get staff discount, they were going to come in cheaper than 90p, so I had to get a third one to make it up. But I bought 5 by accident, because as I was going around the store, I mistakenly thought I had to make up 190 rather than 90. So I've got 5 there. I suppose I could take 2 of them back, but they will get eaten. The date on these sardines is December 28, so I've got 2 years to eat them all up. The middle son who visits eats those 3 at a time for lunch, so they won't last too long. So that's fine. I need them, I use them, and I can afford them. Fine. Third challenge done. The fourth challenge was frozen vegetables. I put those straight in the freezer when I got home yesterday, but I'll insert a picture of them again here. And here's the frozen vegetable challenge that I shopped. Let me just tell you how much each of these things were. I bought 2 bags of butternut squash chunks. They were £1.50 each, and that was 500 kilograms. So there, 500 kilograms, 500 kilograms. I bought a bag of very fine whole green beans. That was 900 grams, and they were £1.07. Then I bought a massive bag of frozen peas, 1.6 kilograms, and that was £2.50. And then 2 bags of mini corn on the cob, 875 grams each, and they were £1.80 each. And then some hash browns, 750 grams for £2.35. So I'm hoping that that will meet the total for the frozen vegetable challenge once my staff discount's taken into consideration. So I'm just going to pop those in the freezer now, and then I'll talk you through the other things I bought later. Then the next challenge was pasta. It could either be fresh or dried pasta. And so I got 6 packets of the fresh tortellini, 2 ham and cheese, 2 spinach and ricotta, and 2 of the 4 cheese. Now these are on loyalty card offer at the moment for £1.50 each. I got 2 of each, so that's 3, 6, 9. And so even with my discount, I've met that challenge. These have got a date until 10th or 13th of March. So they don't need to go in the freezer just yet, but they will eventually go in the freezer. And again, myself and my visiting middle son, we will eat those up quite quickly. I'm just going to shut the door. That's my new fridge freezer, by the way. Isn't it lovely? I'm really pleased with it. No dripping condensation or running water. It's fantastic. Then also, while I was at the supermarket, there were some other deals that were going on. There's one I've had my eye on, which is store cupboard essentials, I think, which includes seasoning, herbs, spices, dried sauce mixers, dried stuffing mixers, stock cubes, that sort of thing. I've been through my store cupboard and had a look to see which of those things I need. I'm fine with stock cubes, I'm fine with stock pots. I did think I would get some more white wine stock pots for summer risottos and seafood pasta dishes. I've already got 3 packets of those in the cupboard. and I checked the best before date on the ones at the shop, and it's only November this year. I'm not likely to use any more than I've got between now and then, so I decided to leave the whole wine stock pots. And I thought, right, I'm going to focus on things that I know have got a long date, or that maybe are a little bit of a treat and don't come up on a deal that often. So what I've done is that I have bought salt and some barbecue seasoning. Now, salt is a forever seasoning. It doesn't go off. It may go a little bit lumpy, but it doesn't go off. And the price of salt has really rocketed up. This used to be about 69 pence for a 1.5 kilogram bag. Those bags of salt are now £1.95 each. I do remember the last time I bought them, and I've got 4 bags in my long-term cupboard. They were about 69 pence each, so they have more than doubled. Now, in the olden days, people used to talk about people being worth their salt. That's it. People used to talk about things being worth their salt, or people being worth their salt. And that's because in Roman times, people were paid in salt, because salt was used for preserving things and making food more palatable. So I decided this is going to last forever. The price is only going to go up, so I got 2 of those. And then I got 4 sacks of sea salts. Yes, I did compare the price with Aldi. With my staff discount included, this is better value for me. And then I also got 2 Schwartz Classic Barbecue seasoning. It reminds me of the way we used to season our steak when I lived in Africa as a child. And so when these are on offer, I like to get them. I did not want to buy 4. So I've bought 2 of those and 2 of those. So hopefully by buying 4 and getting 1 free, I've got 1 of those free. And then by buying 4 and getting the cheapest free, I've probably got that free. But of all those items, the sacks of salt was actually the cheapest at £1.90. That was £2. They were £1.95. So if they bundle that all together, I'm not quite sure how the till does it, then it's possible that those 2 would have been the free items, because it's buy 4, get the cheapest free. So out of those 8 things, those are the 2 cheapest things. But if it bundles like with like, then those 4 would have been together and it would have been get 1 of those free, and those 4 would have been together and it would have been get 1 of those free. So honestly, life's too short for me to sit down and try and work out which way it happened on the receipt, but whichever way it happened, I'm still very happy, and there will only have been about 5 or 10 pence difference there. Right, so I'm just going to go and sit in the sitting room now and just try and talk over the receipts, and I'll also do a quick review of what my overall savings have been for this little deal shop. It's a little bit complicated, but I still like to think that I've beaten the system. I hope I have. I do hope. Right, here's the receipt for the main deal shop. I can't get it all in one shot, so I'm just going to do it this way. I hope this works. So there's the top. You can see the pasta there. 6 lots of pasta. The chopped tomatoes, and I bought some tonic water to go with my homemade sloe gin. Some sardines in tomato sauce. That was finishing up the fish deal. Then you can see the salt, the barbecue seasoning and the cooking salt. Then at the bottom you can see the butternut squash chunks, the green beans. Down below there's 4 lots of frozen vegetables, and then there's the carrots in water, the mushroom soup, oxtail soup, some more frozen vegetables. So let's see. All of my deal shopping yesterday cost $68.70, and I saved $15.87 at the till. $6.55 of that was due to offers, which would have been on the seasonings, the salt and the seasonings and the fresh pasta. And then once they'd been deducted, I would have got £8.32 colleague discount. I paid for the whole thing with 2 gift cards, the £31 balance from my previous gift card, and I bought a new gift card on the spot for £22, and that paid the balance. You can just about see down there that I'll have got 52 loyalty card points for that. That's already been added to my account. And then, let me just talk you through this. This is a summary. So I bought the Tinned Fish Challenge, and I will get, once the challenge closes on the 22nd of February, 380 points for that, 220 points for the Frozen Vegetable Challenge, 220 points for the Tinned Soup Challenge, 210 points for the Tinned Vegetable Challenge, and 160 points for the Fresh Pasta Challenge. That's 1,180 points altogether, which is equivalent to £11.80. Now, theoretically, those points will be added to my Christmas saver once they are released when the challenge is over. So that's a fantastic addition to my Christmas saver, which I shall be using to put towards my annual stocking up next Christmas at the supermarket. So that's 5 challenges that I completed. There are 2 that I wanted to do, but I have not completed because I couldn't really afford it this week. And also one of them I didn't really need, the other one possibly I needed, possibly I didn't. So the tinned and dried beans and pulses would have been 220 points, but I've passed on that, and I'm going to stay being passed on that. I do not need those things, though possibly dried beans, but we'll see. I'll see how I go. The dried fruit would have given me 180 points. The total there that I've missed, so to speak, is £4 worth of points. But again, if I don't need it, I don't use it, and I can't afford it, we're not doing it. So let's just look at the savings summary for my deals shopping. The promotions in store came to a total of £15.87. That was £6.55 loyalty savings and £9.32 staff discount. I also, when I bought the £22 gift card, got 57 pence cash back, which is sat in top cashback waiting for me to withdraw. And the extra points for the Christmas saver when they come through will be £11.80. So my total savings, notional or otherwise, on that shopping was £27.24. And the total due was £52.83. So technically speaking, I've saved, in inverted commas, but I've saved about 50% one way or another on the items that I've bought. So there's a summary of my deals shopping expedition yesterday. As I said, I've very much tried to keep to the mantra of, will I use it? Do I need it? Can I afford it? And out of the 10 challenges, I decided to complete 5. There were 2 which met the criteria partially, in that I do use them, but I didn't need them and I couldn't afford them, so I've left those. That was 7 challenges altogether. There were another 3 challenges that I chose, which included high-end cheese. What was the other one? Fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. Now, yes, I do use them. Do I need them? No. Can I afford them? Not really at the moment. The main one there was, do I need them? And honestly, no, I don't. So I have bought some potatoes during the period of the challenge, and they've gone towards the fresh vegetables, but I'm very unlikely even to meet the first part of the 3-part challenge for that, so those aren't really going to happen. And then there were quite a lot of other challenges that were more clearly focused at promoting brands rather than focusing on what they thought I might eat or what might be good for me. And that included things like Jason's bread, Anchor butter, Cathedral City cheese, Fairy products, all lovely, lovely things. But do I need them? No. Do I use them? No. Can I afford them? No. So I've not I've not taken up those challenges, and I won't be doing so either. So what I've tried to show you here is that I'm not somebody who just rushes down to the shops and buys things because they're on offer. I do thoughtfully consider them, and I tried to demonstrate this also in my previous video about yellow label shopping. I don't just go down and grab everything that's on a yellow label. I very much ask myself, yep, do I need it? Will I use it? And can I afford it? And this is the way I do my shopping for other deals as well. And again, sometimes I just leave myself a little bit of time to sort of cool off so that I don't get too carried away with the excitement and then live to regret it. So I've been sitting on these deals for a while, apart from the tinned fish, which I'd already started, thinking, yeah, do I really need them? And can I afford them? Well, this week I can, because as I said, I've been eating out of my fridge, my pantry and my freezer, and so I've not used my consumables budget. So that consumables budget has gone towards paying for this deals shopping. My delay did actually cost me somewhat, because there was a 3 for 2 on frozen vegetables during the challenge period, but that finished the other week and I delayed just a little bit too long. Otherwise I could have got 3 for 2 on the frozen vegetables, as well as getting 4 for 3 on the savoury seasonings offer. But you can't win them all the time. Here, there's another saying from Frugal Granny, you can't win them all the time. But we do the best we can with what we've got, and that involves our brain power and our time as much as our financial resources. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that little deal shopping trip with me, and I'm sorry to the people who don't live in the UK for whom the deals offer that I was using won't pertain, but I hope you found it interesting anyway. Well, I'll see you again on Thursday. There won't be a bonus video this week, and I'll see you again on Thursday for coffee and catch up. I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something in the meantime. Anyway, enjoy the beginning of your week, and I'll see you later. Bye bye for now.